Welcome to the eCommerce Badassery Podcast, the place for scrappy entrepreneurs who want to learn actionable steps and strategies to grow the traffic, sales, and profit in your e-commerce business. I'm your host, Jessica Totillo-Coster, a 20-year retail veteran and former brick-and-mortar boutique owner who spent 3 years as the only employee of a 7-figure online store. That shit was crazy. I know exactly how it feels to do all the things, and I'm sharing everything I learned the hard way so you don't have to. I may have started this business by accident, but supporting badass bosses like you lights me the fuck up, and I am so stoked to see you grow. Are you ready, babe? Let's roll. Welcome back to the eCommerce Badassery Podcast. I'm your host, Jessica Totillo-Coster. We're heading into the final stretch of Q2 and official summer is right around the corner. That means it's almost time for you to set your intentions for arguably one of the most important quarters of your business, July through September. Q3 is a powerful time in your business. Not only is it a chance for you to course correct based on where you're at with your annual goals, but it's also your opportunity to get prepped and ready for Q4. I know it sounds like a lot of brain power and responsibility for a time of the year where we'd rather focus on beach days and barbecues. But I promise it doesn't require you to sacrifice your entire summer. It's more about getting the planning and brainstorming out of the way in advance so you can slowly implement whatever it is you uncover so that you can feel confident knowing every minute that you spend working on your business is a powerful one because you're only doing exactly what you should be doing. So today I'm giving you the 6 moves worth your time for the back half of the year. The things to double down on and a few things to drop so you actually have room for everything else. All right, so let's get into it. Step number 1 is to do a mid-year check-in against the goals you set in January. This is the starting point because it should be a guide for what you need to focus on moving forward. And make sure you look at your actual numbers. It's not about what the year has felt like. It's the truth in the performance of your business. Some of you will be pleasantly surprised and others will be disappointed. It's all part of the game. Don't stress too much over it. Remember to focus on controlling the things you can control. So where are you right now compared to the annual goal you set in January? Are you ahead, on track, behind, and more importantly, why? Look at your revenue, but don't stop there. Make sure you look at your margin too, because I've seen plenty of store owners hit a revenue number they're proud of while their profit quietly got eaten alive by discounting, rising product costs, shipping, etc. Maybe you've gotten more new customers this year, but they're spending less, and so you're doing more work in fulfillment while making less money. That's a true story. While you're there, look at your product sales. What's actually selling and making you money? What's sitting and collecting dust? Stop putting effort into the products that are holding your cash hostage and focus on propping up your biggest money makers. Do what you can to turn that old inventory into cash, even if it means selling it as a lot on eBay or finding a D-stash group on Facebook. Get as much cash out of it as you can so that you can reinvest it into something else. Number 2, grow your email list. This is your last real runway before Q4. While the majority of your sales will come from customers who engage with you during the first half of the year, there's still time in Q3 to attract new people and give them a great experience with your business and product so they'll want to buy from you again during the holiday season. So this quarter, I want you to make list growth an active priority. That means being intentional and consistent with your strategy. It could look like running a pre-launch event, refreshing your pop-up offer, creating a lead magnet that directly leads into what you sell, partnering with someone to get in front of new audiences, maybe even starting ads, whatever fits your business. The specific tactic matters less than the commitment to doing it right now. Number 3, get your email engine ready for the rush. While your campaign emails will do a lot of the heavy lifting, so will your automations. These are running in the background for you 24/7, nurturing and converting your customers, whether you're actively working, sitting on the beach, or taking that holiday trip. Right now, while things are a little calmer, is the time to go in and audit your flows. Are they turned on? I can't tell you how many clients and students I've worked with who took the time to create a flow but didn't turn it on. Are your flows saying the right thing? Are you featuring your best sellers? Are they pointing to products you don't sell anymore? Are they speaking to the customer you are attracting? The more intentional your automations are, the more impactful they will be all year long. If you need help with this, there's the freebie in the e-commerce badassery vault that will get you the MVP of your email automations. For my more advanced and higher traffic businesses, snag email badassery. There's a self-study and a live support version. I'll stick links in the show notes. 4, fix your conversion leaks. When it comes to your website, every little leak, a confusing product page, a poor navigation menu, giant collections without filters, these are costing you a little bit of money on every single visitor. In the summer, when traffic is typically slower for product-based businesses, this equates to a slow drip. When Q4 hits and you've got a ton more visitors, that drip becomes a flood. Your job, fix the leak before it turns into a flood. So look at your homepage, your navigation menu, your product pages. Make sure it's optimized to help your customer find their way around and convert. If you need to learn more about optimizing your website, make sure you tune into the Badass Basics series I published on the podcast. It starts with episode 369. Number 5, start your Q4 preparation. This is the one that separates the people who have a calm, profitable Q4 from those who spend October and November in a constant state of panic. Over the years running eCommerce badassery and working with so many product-based business owners, you typically don't hear me get into the nitty-gritty of Q4 planning until around August. And that's because from what I've seen, most small product-based business owners just aren't in the headspace to talk about it before then, and even if I'm bringing it up, they are tuning me out. But realistically, you should be starting your holiday planning right now. And while we're not going to get too deep into specifics today, I already have a bunch of episodes. I'll stick links in the show notes for you. I do want to make sure it's on your radar for Q3. So, what does starting your Q4 planning look like? First, gift guides. If you want to be featured in holiday gift guides, whether that's a blog, a magazine, an influencer, a local publication, those editors are planning their content months ahead. The time to pitch is now, in the summer, not in November. Make a list of the gift guides you'd love to be in and start reaching out. Second, partners and collaborations. Is there someone whose audience would love your products? A complimentary brand you could do a bundle or giveaway with. Those relationships take time to build and coordinate. Line them up now so they're ready to go when the season hits. Third, rough out your offers and your promo calendar. You don't have to have every email written and every graphic designed. You just need the skeleton. What are you going to promote and roughly when? So you've got Black Friday, Cyber Monday. Do you have a holiday collection launch? Any sales or bundles in between? Getting the calendar down on paper now means you're not inventing your entire Q4 strategy on the fly. This is the brainstorm now, implement slowly move I mentioned at the top of this episode. Do the thinking now so that you can slowly implement and just execute it later on. But the hard part, the thinking, is already done. Fourth, your inventory planning. Whether you bring in holiday-specific products or just have a long lead time on your main items, the more time you spend planning and getting things in place now, the less stressed you'll be later on. Of course, you don't want to blow your entire Q4 buying budget right now. Always leave yourself a little cushion to react to new trends, but you should be planned ahead for your product assortment. And then lastly, your wholesale strategy. Whether you want to increase the number of retailers you work with, reactivate dormant ones, or just want to make sure your existing retailers know what's available to them for the holiday season, now is the time to dig in to your wholesale strategy. There's a reason fair market happens in July. And number 6, cut the busy work that won't move your Q4 results. This is probably the most important one on the list. Everything we've talked about takes time and focus. And I also want you to enjoy your summer instead of feeling like a slave to your business. Most of us don't have a spare 5 to 10 hours a week lying around, so you've got to make room. It's time to take a long, hard look at where you've been spending your time and whether or not you should continue doing it. And it's super important that you're honest with yourself because it's a lot easier to talk ourselves into continuing to do shit that doesn't really matter. I really don't know what that's about. Than doing the stuff that does matter. This might look like the social platform you keep forcing yourself to post on, even though it hasn't driven a single sale. The tasks you do because you think you're supposed to, not because they're actually contributing to your business. The fiddling, the tweaking, and reorganizing that feels productive but doesn't move a number that matters. If you're still not sure, here's a filter you can use to run through everything that's currently taking up your time. Will this make a positive impact on my results in Q4? Seriously, that's the filter. If it doesn't pass the filter, it doesn't deserve your time this quarter. Give yourself permission to stop, pause, or simplify. And this is the do less, make more philosophy in action. The back half of the year isn't about cramming more onto your plate. It's about clearing space for the handful of things that genuinely drive results and letting go of the rest. You won't be able to do the most impactful things if all of your time is spent on busy work that doesn't really matter. All right, so let's wrap this up. 6 moves for the strongest second half of the year. Do your mid-year check-in, grow your list while you still have runway, get your email flows ready, fix your website leaks, start your Q4 prep early, and cut the busy work that's eating your time. Friendly reminder, you don't need a brand new strategy for the rest of the year. You need to choose a few things that really matter and protect them. Run everything through the filter and let that decide where your time goes. And if you want help working through any of this, this is exactly what we do inside the lounge. The back half of the year with Q4 coming is when having a place to ask questions, get eyes on your strategy, and stay accountable really pays off. You don't have to figure out Q3 and Q4 alone. We have our Q3 strategy planning workshop at the end of this month. I'll put a link in the show notes. And that, my friends, is a wrap on this week's episode. Make sure you check the full show notes at ecommercebadassery.com/381 for links to all of the other episodes I mentioned today. As always, thank you so much for hanging out with me today. I super appreciate it. If you haven't already and you've got a moment, I'd love if you'd leave a review wherever you are listening to this podcast so other product-based business owners know this is the place to be. I really appreciate you. Thank you again. Have a kick-ass rest of your week, and I'll see you on the flip side. Thank you so much for listening to today's episode. If you want to learn more about growing your e-commerce business, get started with my free resource library at ecommercebadassery.com/free stuff and get an invite to the lounge, my e-commerce marketing membership. When you're ready for one-on-one support, apply to work with me at ecommercebadassery.com/apply. Before you go, would you do me a quick favor? Leave a rating and review and tap that follow button. This pushes me up the chart so I can support more scrappy e-commerce entrepreneurs just like you. I'm on a mission to reach as many as I can, and I could really use your help. Thanks so much in advance. Until next time, e-commerce friend, stay badass.